everybody, it's July 17th, 2020. I'm Kimberly Jolly from Fat Quarter Shop, and we have lots of stuff to show you today. I wanted to start off with BLOOM-TOPIA and just give everybody a huge thank you. We have raised $56,637 from all of you guys, and it means so much to us, and we really appreciate it. Kevin and I are going to write a check for $20,000 to send to Make-A-Wish, and Moda is going to send $10,000. So that's going to be $86,000. So that could grant like 9 wishes. Wow. So yeah, that's so exciting. I do know some of the wishes won't be right now. But so we'll get to show you all of that probably, later in the year, more of the wishes as we get to grant them. So thank you so much. I wanted to let you know this is the quilt. So this is the BLOOM-TOPIA quilt. We have some quilt kits left, but this is the last time we're going to show it. So I am going to take my quilt home because Yay. I want to take it home so that I can show my kids and talk to my kids about raising money, and because I'm always trying to tell them you have to do stuff for other people, just like Melinda Gates says. So I'm also going to show it to you sewn in different fabrics so that if you haven't started and you still want to, because it is a completely free pattern, that you can see what other people did and they want to take their quilts home too. So we're going to show these one last time, and I will start with crystals. Yay. So the one behind me is Sherri and Chelsea fabric. This one is Speckled Fabric by Ruby Star Society. Ooh. With an S6 background. Okay, so how does that look?
Good, yes.
And then can you pan down, or do you want me to hold it back up?
If you could pull it up, yeah.
Okay, so there's the bottom.
Perfect.
Yay!
Oh, I love that.
I
love
know,
how
Lily wants it.
Yes, I do.
And then Deborah made this one using Stiletto by Basic Gray. And some of these might be upside down, and it's okay. We're going to let that go because these are really heavy. Oh, I forgot to show the back of hers. Let me go back to that in a second. Really pretty. And then on the back, this is a free backing. Free pattern, for the donation to Make-A-Wish. And I think everybody's going to remember 2020, so you could just make this as a quilt. Let me look at the back of Crystal's real quick so you can see it. I don't know if she pieced the back. Okay, she didn't, but this is the fabric she used. So that you guys can see. It's pretty.
Yeah.
The next one is one of my favorite fabric collections ever. It's Harvest Road. Teresa made it. And I want to show you something really cool she did. She used the piping binding tutorial by Corey Yoder.
Oh.
Can you see it?
Here.
Yeah, you can see it. Okay. So there's piping in here. And Ashley can link to that video. It's called Piping. So.
Yes.
And her piecing is impeccable.
Oh my gosh.
It's so pretty. I love this one. So fun to show everybody's quilts. She starches, I can tell. So pretty. So I do have this one upside down, I'm sorry. And then I will show you the back. And she did something really fun with her back that's a little bit different. And I think some of you guys might love it and might do it yourselves.
Ooh.
Have you not seen it, Lily?
No, I had not seen the backs of these.
Okay, so she did the 2020, and then she used some of the leftovers to make 9 patches, and then she just kept the 9 patches going on both sides, and then when the quilter quilted it, they're both cut off about the same amount.
Oh.
So it just you just keep going with your 9 patches, and then it just gets cut where it gets cut. And then this is beautiful. This is, if you wanted to do something similar to this right here is something similar done in one of Lori Holt's books. The border around one of the Farm Girl quilts. Mm-hmm. So it's just rectangles and then corner units, and then she just did a big long piece. And this is a great way to use up all your scraps so that you don't have anything left over. Mm-hmm. And then I love this green piece. Now I will tell you a lot of this fabric is sold out, but it's so pretty. This quilt is amazing. I want to switch my quilt and her quilt. I want to take hers home. Okay, this one is by Nancy, and this is Flower Garden by Lindsay McCrae. And I think this is great for a bedroom.
Yes.
It's like a great, and then I will show the back in a second.
Oh, that's so pretty.
I know, it's so pretty, right? I love the little prints like this one. They kind of remind me of my grandma. And this one's upside down, but that's okay. And then the back of this one is...
Ooh.
Yeah, look at that. Fancy.
Mm-hmm.
Really pretty. And I love how all of the numbers really pull from the outside of the fabric on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
The back is gonna hurt. Sue made, memoirs by 3 sisters.
Ooh.
This one's really, really nice. These have, I like quilts like this that have strong colors so that the background really pops. Because when I sew, I don't like to work with mediums. And so this one is great for somebody like me because it really pops. And I love how the tulip over here, it's like a tulip. They look like real tulips.
Yeah.
And then the back. On this one is just fabric. So you can see that that's beautiful too, and you can do whatever you would like to do. So let me know if you'll have questions on those before I go on, because one of the things that we also did, because we're trying to raise more money, is we did this cross stitch over here. So if you are a cross stitcher, that is also something that's available free. And we have that available, and then we asked for a $10 or $15 donation to Make-A-Wish. So that's also available. Mm-hmm. And both of these quilts, both the quilt and the cross stitch and all of these quilts that I'm about to show you are completely free patterns. We just asked for a donation to Make-A-Wish, and we will keep those patterns up infinitely. So if in 3 years somebody wants to make it, what we do then is we can change the link to donate to our new cause, which will be Make-A-Wish, but it's something that we want to live on. We don't want this to be something where, you know, we finish this live stream and then we're like, oh no, don't donate again. That's not the whole point of this. The point of this is for everything to live on. We would like to be able to take our quilts home though.
Yes.
So I'm excited. I'm going to put it on the back of my couch and then talk to my kids about it. If they're not watching, they might be watching, but when I left this morning, they were still asleep.
Aww. All right. Yeah. So there's also video tutorials that go with these. Those will also be up forever and ever.
Yes. And thank you to Sherri and Chelsea who came and filmed all of those.
Yes. Big kudos to them. They did awesome. I miss them so much.
And they're so funny.
Yes, they are. They also have a podcast now if you want to.
They do?
Yeah. It's really good. I think they posted on YouTube. Ashley, correct me if I'm wrong. Ashley listens to it.
Well, somebody's. Ashley, can you email me that? Because I don't know. I haven't listened to podcasts in forever. I kind of just went to YouTube once the pandemic hit. I just started watching YouTube. And now I'm just watching YouTube, the most random stuff. It's ridiculous. So one of my kids, so I watched this cockatoo. I'm not kidding. All the time. And actually yesterday, so I wear the headphones in my office, and the cockatoo squawked, and I jumped. Scared me to death. Aww. And I thought, okay, you have officially lost your mind. But so I watch this cockatoo and I show Emma, and she gets so annoyed. So it's funny. So then Christopher was making me mad the other day. So I turned my headphones off and I turned on the cockatoo, and he was like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm watching this bird. And he was like, Mom, I really think you lost your mind. I was like, good. That's what I want. It's fun. That's what life's about. It's just being silly. And he was like, then he started watching the cockatoo, and he was like, really, Mom? You're really watching this? I was like, oh, yeah.
Oh. All right. A few people were like, oh, Kimberly's getting her workout this morning.
Oh, I am, because I sat down before we do, because we have a lot more.
Yes.
Because I'm going to show you, next I'm going to show you, yeah, I've got a lot more.
Yes. Also, quick shout out to Mike. I believe he's the one who quilted all these quilts that we just showed.
Okay. So Mike at mylongarmquilts.com. And if you like any of them, if you like any of the quilting on any of them, he keeps notes on what he makes. So like you could say, I liked Teresa's, the quilting on Teresa's quilt from, BLOOM-TOPIA, blah, blah, blah. He can look it up, and he will do yours just the same. And he does where you can mail it to him, and then he'll mail it back.
Mm-hmm. Also, quick correction, it's mylongarm.com.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Yes, a few other people watching messaged me that, so thank you for that. And then a few people were wondering when the next charity quilt along is starting.
So the next charity quilt along, I'm going to tease. This is the fabric. It's designed by Corey Yoder, and this is all I'm going to show. I'm not going to flip through and show anything. It is designed. It is beautiful. Jocelyn designed it. One of the things I thought we could do when the charity kicks off is we can have Jocelyn come on the live stream and just talk about her design process. So the quilt is designed, and as of about 2 hours ago, the cross stitch is completed because we just went round and round about the very top and bottom and the sides of the cross stitch. And so with this, we are going to match thread to this so that just like we did for this one. So we're going to try to match the thread to this as close as possible so the cross stitch and the quilt match. It will begin again in January of next year, and we're hoping that Corey Yoder can come and film. Yes. We're hoping that everything kind of clears up enough. Mm-hmm. But I'm thinking there'll be a vaccine in December, so hopefully Corey can come and film this. And I'm going to do it a little bit different this year. So last year what I did is I made the quilt, and then we just hung the quilt up each time. Yes. This year, someone in customer service is going to, if somebody can tell me the name of the person who told me they would make it, because I can't remember, is going to sew it, and then I'm going to do my blocks and then show it each week on the live stream so I can kind of talk about things instead of it just hanging on the wall. Mm-hmm. And I'm still working on the fall free thing that we're doing. Yes. So yeah, so maybe, let's see.
All right, real quick, I have a few. Teresa's sewing it. Thank you. Teresa's awesome.
And then we're going to auction off her quilt next year too.
Ooh. Oh, I'm so excited for that.
And this fabric won't be online until around August 11th to pre-sale. So this is a big tease. Thank you to Moda for letting us tease it, because we knew people were going to ask about the colors.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to go through a few new members and a few super chats we've had since the beginning of the live stream. First new member was G. Griffin. Welcome, G. Griffin.
Thank you.
Yay. And then we had another new member, Vicky Louv. Welcome, Vicky. Yay.
Thank you.
And then super chat from Kathy Brock for $9.99. Thank you so much, Kathy.
Thank you.
Yay. Oh, there goes Super Piggy. And then a new member, Miss Lady Murphy. Welcome. And then we had a super chat from Cheryl Serafini. Great last name, for $14.99, and they say, so thankful for the free patterns and sew-alongs generously provided by Kimberly and FQS. Love watching the live stream, as Lily has such a calming voice and Kimberly is so genuine.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you. All right, and then another new member is Judy Redmond. Welcome, Judy. And let me make sure I haven't missed a super chat here. Oh, okay. We had one more from Totus PRZ for $19.99.
Thank you.
Thank you, Totus. Yay.
So if you want to join in the BLOOM-TOPIA and want to donate to Make-A-Wish, but you don't have the time to make this big quilt, we have provided additional free patterns. So I'm going to show all of these to you. This one is my favorite one that we did. It is called the Bonus Bird pattern. It is Catalina by Fig Tree. Jocelyn designed it, Angel made it, and Mike quilted it. So this is a completely free pattern. And then there's the backing. The next free pattern we have is, I love this. This is Nancy's Needle is the fabric collection. And Jocelyn designed this, Angel stitched it, and Mike quilted it. And this is finishing pattern number 5. That's free. I don't know the name of it. It's really pretty. So if you love anything Kansas treble or 1800s, that would look great. This is our very first finishing pattern. This one is a little bit bigger. Of course, you could always make it smaller. Finishing pattern 1, it used the over and under block from release 1. This is Canning Day fabric. Jocelyn designed it, Sue stitched it, and Mike quilted it. It's really pretty. This would make a great table runner if you just wanted to do a table runner and set it on straight. That would be a great table runner. And then the backing to show you the full. And this is a great way if you have leftover fabrics, use them up so you don't have anything left over. Sometimes you'll have just a strip left over from a kit. So that is the backing. I love that backing. And there's a couple more. This is also one of my favorites. This is finishing pattern 2. These are again all free. Designed by Jocelyn, stitched by Nova, made by Mike. And it's strawberry jam fabric on the star accent, and then the background is garden variety. And then the block is early bird. So this is a great way to use up your stash. Just mixing any collections that you have leftovers with, and it looks like it's all one collection even though it's not. So again, free pattern. And if you're looking at these and you feel the need to donate, we have the link to Make-A-Wish. This is our pattern 3. The fabric is Indigo Gatherings by Lisa Bonjean. Crystal designed it, Nancy stitched it, and Mike quilted it. And Lisa Bonjean has, on Facebook, she has a Facebook group, and she's doing live videos. So she does lots of videos on wool applique and other stuff. So I would love for y'all to go check out Lisa Bonjean's YouTube and Facebook lives. Okay, this is a big one.
Ooh.
Okay. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a biggie. So you can see kind of what we're doing with the corners. Let me rotate it a little bit. It's our finishing pattern number 4. Sorry. It's designed by Jocelyn, stitched by Terry, quilted by Mike. It's a combination of the different releases, and this is At Home by Bonnie and Camille, I believe. And then the backing is this.
Ooh.
It's really pretty.
Yes.
So let me know if y'all have questions on any of the free additional smaller projects. Those are again free, and you know, we're just trying to raise money for Make-A-Wish. We also have 2 quilts that I'm going to show you next that are being auctioned on eBay for Make-A-Wish also. But I'll answer any questions on this before, because sometimes if I go too fast, when y'all ask a question, I get so confused.
All right. From Linda Gordon, are there former charity quilt patterns online?
Yes, there are tons. There's wishes, there's snapshots. I can't remember all the names, but there's like 4 or 5.
Clementine. Yes.
Yeah, I loved Wishes. Wishes was my favorite. I think it was the first year. And so if you want to download any of those and then you feel the need to donate to Make-A-Wish.
Yes. Oh, Threadology. That was last year's.
Threadology, yeah. And that was the spool.
Yes.
That's right. That was the spool. Yeah, just donate to this year's campaign of Make-A-Wish.
Yes. Okay. A few people were wondering if you got your AC fixed.
Oh, so my AC broke on Saturday or Sunday. It's not fixed. I showed Lily before we started. So we have a window unit that's going to, I guess, work until we get a new one. It's not going to be about a week and a half before we get a new one. Super expensive. I think Kevin and I were both in shock. We were like, what? So we're considering getting a house warranty plan again, because we used to have one, so that if this happens again, that we're not like having to take money out of accounts. So yeah, just crazy. But so we got the little window unit, and I was telling Lily, I thought you just like plugged it in, and then I was like, oh, I could just take, because the rooms that are out in my house are my office, Kevin's office, and our bedroom. They're all on that same unit. So I thought, oh, I can just like wheel it to my sewing room, and then I can sew this weekend, because it is so hot. I mean, you can't function. And it's not like that. They have to put it in a window so the air goes out. And so I'm like, okay, so I don't even know if I'm going to get to sew this weekend. But it's okay. I mean, it's super loud though, and I can sleep through that, but Emma can't. So last night, and I know Emma shouldn't sleep in our bed, but she does. So last night I had to turn it off. Oh. But at least it's not the end of the world. I'm just upset about how much money it costs to fix it.
Yeah. A few people have pointed out that the clock is working today. Yes, I put batteries in it.
Oh.
It's nice. I was like, it's going to live in here, so might as well just pop it in.
That's funny.
And we do sell that clock. I saw a few people asking about that.
I think it's 1001-something is the SKU.
Yes.
And it's Moda made that clock, and they made a little laundry room clock.
Yes, they're both super cute. Also, a few people have complimented your shirt and how you look today.
Oh, thank you.
They say you look good. Okay. And then we have a few super chats that have come in.
Thank you.
The first one was from Kathy Hosang for $20. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Yay. And then our next super chat is from Valeria Bauer. And they put a pear that's exercising and it says, "You are amazing."
Thank you. And speaking of Piggy, one night he wouldn't even sleep in the bed because it was so hot. He was like, no, forget this. So he just kept going outside, and he woke up. He finally came in at like 4 o'clock in the morning. But it's just like, that's how hot it was in our bedroom, that it was cooler outside because he could sit under the fan than in our bedroom. That's how hot it got. Aww. So it was kind of funny, but kind of not.
Yeah.
I was like, this is really bad when the dog wants to sleep outside.
Oh, Piggy. And then we have 2 new YouTube members. Kathy Hosang. Welcome, Kathy.
Thank you.
And then Juanita Hooker. Thank you, Juanita.
Thank you.
Also, very funny comment that just came in from Jeanette Sweetlove. She put, #blame Lily. I used the Juki link you gave me, and they had 1 Juki available. Bought it in 2 seconds, and they upgraded me to the QVP Haruka. Thank you, Lily.
That's awesome. Yeah, so let me tell y'all a little bit about the Juki situation. So we want to get another Juki for sewing, and they're out. So, and I will tell you, any store, everything is out. So, because people are making masks, so it's really hard to get a sewing machine of any brand. So we cannot find that Juki anywhere because we wanted to buy another one for in here. And then the compensating foot or the 1/4-inch foot, or there's like a different one for the Juki that I use, and we linked that, and we keep getting comments. You guys are like, oh, they're sold out. So they are. We can't find another one. So it's kind of like that time where everything's just kind of, we're hoping. So we don't know when Juki's going to have more, but we're waiting too.
Yeah.
So if our links to Amazon are dead or not working or they're sold out, they're just sold out. Mm-hmm. And I thought about, if I get desperate enough, I could email Juki and say, do you have any idea when you're going to get more? But, I can wait.
Yeah.
But at some point, I might get desperate enough to ask them. Okay, so Sherri and Chelsea are super generous, and they are donating their quilt. Lily's going to pop up a picture. It looks just like mine, but they are donating. They're selling it through eBay. All that money goes directly from eBay to our Make-A-Wish campaign. So we would love for you to, if you don't have time to make this quilt, you could buy Sherri and Chelsea's quilt.
Yes, and that's the one they actually made on camera.
Yes, that's the one that they filmed.
Yes.
So it's really made by both of them. And so the starting bid is $500, and it is on eBay, and it goes until July 25th. And then Pat Sloan made this one. And this uses Pat Sloan's fabric that she designed for Benartex. Yes. And so Pat's has several bids on it already. I'm going to show you. And then the quilting on the border is beautiful. What the quilter did is they used white thread to quilt the inside and blue thread on the border.
I think it's variegated thread too.
Oh, okay. And then the backing, she got fancy and made a smaller version of 2020, and she signed it.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yep. And there's notes on it. So we would love for y'all to auction. Buy it on auction. Let me read it to you. It says, BLOOM-TOPIA charity quilt for Make-A-Wish by Pat Sloan using Bonnie Lane fabric, June 2020, quilted by Cindy and Dennis Dickinson. Pat at patsloan.com, Herndon, Virginia. Yay!
Yay.
Oops.
All right. And let's see. Gina says, did y'all try Sewing Machines Plus for Juki? Gina, we tried it everywhere.
So Lily was doing the work. Lily and Ashley were
Ashley.
both doing the work, and yeah. There's none.
Yeah, Ashley was like on the phone calling all of our local sewing machine places, and then I was like on the internet looking at all like the online places. Nothing.
Yeah. And I mean, I've heard different stores, like the store that I shop at in Austin is So Much More, is a lot of their sewing machines are out, and I think people are just making masks or I think YouTube has gone up in popularity across the board for whatever reason, and I think there's so much sewing on there, like our channel, and people know that there's a resource you can go to for free patterns or free stuff, and it gives you something to do that's positive and fills your day. So I wanted to let you know we are in the middle of our Jolly Bar Sew Along. So this is the book. It's $9.95. And this is the quilts you would make. I made this one. And we're on this week right here, the little flying geese. Or actually, it's a version of a flying geese because there's no points. So I'm going to show you the ones that our sample makers made. So I know Nancy made these, and this is Harvest Road. Oh, actually, Carrie made these. I'm sorry. And you can see that on the points, they're not supposed to match. So it's fun because then you don't have to worry about that intersection. And this one is super easy, so it's not too late to join. Terry made this one. Harper's Garden by Sherri and Chelsea. And the background is Isabella 9900, color 131. And this is Catalina by Fig Tree. And Nancy made this one, sorry. And then I'll show you the quilt that I made. I made it such a long time ago. So it's the blocks that are in the third row on the sides. So there and there. And on the back, I just used some leftovers.
All right. Teresa had a fun comment. She said, you should play the game with your kids do and change sleeping rooms, go to one with the air conditioner.
Oh, I tried that the first night. So what I tried was to go to Emma's room, because, okay, so the air conditioner works upstairs. So I thought, okay, I'll go upstairs with the dog, and the other 2 children who follow me around because I'm like the mama duck and they're the baby ducks.
Aww.
Pretty much wherever I am, they are. And that's fine. The other 2 kids are like, get away from me. Because they kind of like hang with each other and they don't really care about anybody else but themselves because they're twins. So we went up. So we go upstairs. That was the night Piggy would not calm down. So he would not sit down. He would not go to sleep. And her room has a ton of light. She likes that. That's what she likes. She doesn't have drapes, and that's because she likes it that way. I could not sleep in a room with all that light. So then I went and slept in a hot room. But I mean, it's not the end of the world. Like, I mean, I'm not even upset the AC's out. I'm just upset about how much money it cost. And the reason it costs so much, I guess, is because, you know, whatever AC unit that we have in there, you have to replace that one. And there's only one place in Austin you can like get it from. So it's more, it's like more expensive. Of course, anytime you have an air conditioner that you fix in the summer, it's going to cost a lot more than it would in the winter. And so yeah, I'm just mad about the cost, but it'll be a funny story. I mean, 2021, I mean 2020, just keep going. I mean, just keep going downhill, and I'm ready for 2021.
Oh man.
I mean, it's just one of those things in life. It's just you gotta get through it. Mm-hmm. I will admit I did call a hotel. There's a hotel right by our house, because I thought, well, we can all live here, but then if I sleep, I could just go sleep at that hotel. Mm-hmm. The hotel's closed.
Oh.
I was like, okay, well, that didn't work.
Yeah. All right, before we move on, we got a few more super chats and new members from Nellie Olson, super chat for $4.99, and they say, hope this helps towards your AC. Ours was out for 3 weeks waiting for a part.
Thank you. I wish mine was just a part. I kind of knew after he kept going in and out of the attic, he kept kind of looking at me like, oh, it's not good. Because, first it's, they look at all the things and it's so complicated. It's like,
And from Annie B's Folk Art, new member.
Oh, thank you.
Yay.
So she is a cross-stitch designer.
Oh, what? That's awesome.
Yep.
And a new member, Michelle Hardy. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you.
Yay. And then we had one more super chat here from Jackie Quigley for $1.99.
Thank you.
Very cool last name, by the way. It's fun to say.
So Jelly Snowflake is our completely free pattern. And we have done through week 3. So Lily has folded it where I could show you what is so far so I don't mess up. So this is Dear Christmas fabric, and it's a jelly roll friendly quilt. Everything is free on the blog. So if you want, and that's the one that we sewed on camera. Oh, I haven't even seen it since it got back.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the quilting. Let me show you the quilting. So the quilting is super cute. So Gina Teal did the quilting. It's got a little snowflake. And it's got little berries. So, yeah, so if you want your quilted just like this, you can send it to Gina Teal of Thread Graffiti, and she can do the same quilting. Super cute.
Does look super cute.
So that's completely free. Everything's on our blog. And we like to just do free stuff for you guys because we appreciate your business. We appreciate you shopping at Back Quarter Shop, and we're always trying to give back in some way. And if you want to donate to Make-A-Wish for that free pattern, you definitely can. So I just wanted to show you this. 2 or 3 weeks ago, we used the economy pad, and we made this table runner on the live stream.
That's so cute.
I know, right? So the economy pad is the economy block, which is the one that's not the star. And then this is a simple Ohio star. But Gina quilted it for me.
Yay.
And she did the binding, thank goodness. So if you want to get yours quilted the same way, you can send yours to Gina Teal. And this is going in my sewing room. And I love the pantograph on this one. It's really pretty. So I'm excited I get to take it home. And this is how it looks. And it fits. I have a little table that I use. I put all my cross stitch floss in it. And so this is going to be perfect. And this is a paper pad by Lori Holt. And if you wanted to see if you just wanted to do the paper pad, this is a layout of how many blocks you would need for the 6 and the 12 inch in different sizes. And of course, if you wanted to do, for example, the 6 inch, and you wanted to make this wall hanging, for example, it's 4 by 4, but you could do something like this where you do half economy block and half simple star blocks. And all the information on this is on the live stream a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited I get to take this home. And then we have some new stuff I want to show you. Oh, look how pretty it looks.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, these are so cute. Okay, so these are the new Prim Tins. They're so cute. Okay, so it's like a box in a box in a box.
Yeah.
You know that new song, In the Box? It's a rap song about the box. In the box. Anyway, sorry.
I have not heard that.
Oh my gosh. It's the most popular song on the radio. So it's super cute. So you could use this to put thread, needles, thread conditioners, and it all fits within each other. And it matches her Prim fabric collection. And I have one of these at home already, so I'm so excited that this came in. Now, the reservation numbers on this were super high, so I think we're going to sell out very quick. But we are going to have more soon. And yesterday, this came in. Woo. So, second shipment of the Be Happy quilt puzzle came in yesterday. They might sell out today. We will have more next week. And then after that, it's going to be months before we have more. We basically, I called Riley Blake and said, how many do you have? I will take all of those, please. Thank you. And I'm going to get my kids to put it together. I'm so excited.
Yay.
And then the design boards that Lori Holt designs. This is the back sticker. So she has new design boards with her Prim collection. So these are already pre-made. So this is the small. And these just came in this week. And you can use these for all kinds of things. Mediums. And there's 2 larges, so this is one of the larges. So new design boards. They're 10 by 10, 18 by 18, and 14 by 14. And we have a video on our YouTube channel that Lori just did for us. It was one of our very first original videos. We probably filmed it 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. And if you want to make your own, there's a video on how to do that.
Yeah.
And we had these made. They're called Oh So Clean brush and cloth sets, and they have a little microfiber and 2 brushes, and they're for cleaning your sewing machine. And we had blue, but I wanted to let you know that we also have now gray and pink. So.
Oh, so cute.
I know. I bet you like the gray one.
I like both of them, actually.
Yeah,
They're
and
really
I do use these. These brushes are great.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wanted to let you know that Camille let me borrow this. So this is her brand new Stitch Fill cross stitch. The pattern is available in a paper pattern and a PDF pattern. She stitched it with Cosmo thread, and she got this simple frame at Target. So cute.
Mm-hmm.
And in her brand new book that is coming out, that we have done a trunk show on already,
mm-hmm.
it's called The Quilt Bee. This cross stitch pattern will be in there.
Ooh.
Yes, so we will be sending these back to Camille. So this is probably, and we'll do a sew along with this also. Mm-hmm. And this frame is just, I took it to the framer, and this cloth right here is on top of a fabric, mm-hmm. and then they just put a frame around it because it wasn't like a traditional size. So guys, that is what I have for you today.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I'm so excited about this puzzle though. I mean, oh my gosh, really? It's 1,000 pieces. I'm gonna text one of my kids right after this and be like, can you put this together for me, please? I mean, we can do it like together, but
yeah.
Sometimes the one thing I will say about having 4 kids, I mean, I love it, but the thing about it is it's really hard. There's a lot of fighting because everybody wants to make the puzzle the way they want to make the puzzle. So it becomes, Will wants to do just the outside. Emma wants to do the colors. Christopher wants to mix it up, paint, so it's like really hard. I didn't know that doing puzzles was going to be such a fight in our house, because they get so upset. Like, they get really upset with each other because they want to be in charge of the puzzle making, and if the other people don't follow their rules, they get upset. I'm like, it's just a puzzle, guys. Just put the puzzle together.
Cool. All right, so we had a few questions that have been coming in throughout the live stream, so I'm just going to start going down that list. From Ashley Mass, they say, I'd like to know if Kimberly thinks it's more difficult using the Lori Holt seam roller instead of pressing with an iron to get the blocks to be the correct size, or no difference?
I don't think there's a difference. So I use the seam roller when I'm in a hurry, or if there's a ton of starting and stopping, so that I can just keep going at my sewing machine and then I do a final press. But I feel like the blocks come out the same either way. But like, if I have a ton of time on my hands and I can get up and go to the iron over and over, then I use the iron. If I don't, or if I went to a retreat, I would use the seam roller a lot.
From Teresa, what is one thing in life you haven't yet done that you would really like to do?
Oh. Okay.
Asking the tough questions today.
I don't think there's anything that I haven't done. I'm not a very adventurous person. My best day, honestly, the best days of my life are just at home with my kids. And I try not to ever think of the things that I don't have or the things that I want to do, because then I feel like I should just be happy with what I do have. But I honestly, I've done a lot. I've never gone to Australia. That would be something that I would, eventually like to do. I don't really know. Lily, what about you? I don't know.
Oh man, mine's like a long bucket list.
But she's very adventurous.
I am adventurous, yeah.
So she
I think the next thing that I would really love to do is go to Japan. That's I really want to do that next year, hopefully, when everything is open and safe.
And I would never go there. That's also the thing about Australia. I don't know that I could sit still on a plane that long.
It's a long flight.
Yeah.
I've never been, but I've heard.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know. There might be there's more, I think more in terms of if there's a project I would really like to do. I probably think about that more than, I don't know. That's a good question. Now maybe I'll have to think of something for next week to answer it.
Yeah, we'll just keep adding every week. I thought of this.
Yes.
All right, and a lot of people are wondering if you have found your fabric.
No. I told Lori that I think that, I have no idea. Maybe it got thrown away. I have no idea where that fabric is. And I have been sewing, before the air conditioner went out. I am working on something for August. I'll just kind of give y'all a little heads up. What I'm doing is I am making 2 quilts for my side tables in my bedroom, and I decided that I was going to purchase 0 fabric. So I was going to go in my closet. I had to find a pattern. I had to find fabric. I had to do with what I had. So we're going to have a little challenge in August to use up your scraps. So when I did that, I had to dig through everything, my patterns, my fabric, everything. I have not found that fabric. I have no idea where it is. And we probably won't be getting more for 1 to 2 months, because Riley Blake is still sold out of 2 of the prints. And everything is taking a lot longer to come in. The ports are a little bit overwhelmed. So everything's just going to take a lot longer. And that's okay. We can wait. It's just fabric. But yeah, I don't know. I'm at this point, almost horrified that what if it got thrown away? That would be a crime.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I was digging through stuff because I really wanted to challenge myself to find a pattern I already had, background, backing, everything. Don't buy anything for this project, just to challenge myself, because I do think it's good to sometimes just stop and appreciate what you do have. And it's also stepping out of my comfort zone, because I just threw a bunch of different things together, like collections and backgrounds. Nothing is so matchy-matchy. But I thought for sure when I was doing that I would for sure find my fabric, and I didn't.
I feel like it's going to turn up next year, and we're going to be
it's definitely, I really don't think it got thrown away. Because that would be a crime. I don't think And my kids, like, they don't, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know where that fabric is, but it is quite disturbing that I haven't found it.
Yeah.
Considering how much I've been in my sewing room doing stuff, and I've been working on the fall, like I think I made 16 blocks last week for that. I mean, so it's not like I haven't been in my sewing room.
From Paulo Lobo, good morning from Portugal. Can Kimberly talk about the free Moda holiday stitch along, and will anyone in the Fat Quarter Shop team participate?
So the free Moda stitch along is by Susan Aki, and it's beautiful. It has courthouse steps, I believe. And so it's alternating courthouse steps with embroidery blocks. And I'm not going to sew along with it because I've done so many log cabin blocks this year that I feel like I've already kind of done that look. And I also don't embroider or really applique. So that's the reason no one is doing it. But we did order all of the Aurifil colors that she used in that. So that if you need the Aura floss for the embroidery, we should have it, or it should be on its way. But it is beautiful, and I'm envious that somebody can do that embroidery. I just don't like embroidery. I don't enjoy it because I'm such a perfectionist that I would worry about where if the thread is out of alignment or something. But I love to look at embroidery, especially like if you go to an antique shop or something, like the old towels, that kind of stuff.
People keep asking if it's in the freezer, your fabric.
No, it's not. No, I know it's not the freezer because my kids eat ice cream every day, and it is not in the freezer.
That's funny.
The other day, oh my gosh, they ate like so much ice cream. I was like, this is not good. They get the vanilla. It's like vanilla in the center, and it's cookies on the top and the bottom.
Oh, that sounds
and you
really
can
good.
get like M&M or chocolate chip.
Yeah.
And once they go in the freezer, they're gone within 24 hours. I will tell you, the light that's always on in our house is our pantry light because our kids just snack all the time. And then I have to tell them, I'll go shut the pantry door so that if I hear it open, I know what they're doing. And I'll say, we're going to eat at this time. Don't eat. And then immediately it's like I hear that door open. I have to leave my office, run out there. Get out of the pantry. Get out of the pantry because I want them to eat their dinner.
That's funny. All right, from Sprocket, who has a very cool profile picture, by the way. They say, good afternoon from Cornwall, UK. Got my tea and cookies all ready to watch. Thank you all for becoming the highlight of my week. Question for a total beginner. What is the best type of batting to use?
So I prefer 80-20 because it's 80% cotton and 20% polyester, and that polyester will keep the cotton from going into balls eventually, if that makes sense. I feel like wool batting is a little bit warmer, and some of the wool batting you can't wash or dry or something funny like that. So I would say 80-20. And that's mostly what I use. I don't like my quilts to be too puffy, I'm so excited to take this home. Thank you, Gina.
Yay. From Ratty Catliff, why is there a waiting list for the Sew Sampler box?
Because it's really hard to get any kind of fabric right now. Or basically, we order that 6 months in advance. Everything 6 months in advance. I was looking at stuff yesterday for January box. So we order 6 months in advance, and we don't ever want to over order because we cannot afford to be stuck with thousands of products. So we just order what we think we can fill, and people drop out all the time, and we open it back up all the time. But it's a number that we know we can sell, and it's not something that we make a ton of money on. In fact, some months we don't make money on it. So it's just something that that's the number that we're comfortable with. And we do increase our orders, but you're projecting something in 6 months. So who knows what's going to happen in 6 months? Like, it's really, and we don't want to take too much of a risk because you could go out of business. You know, if you make we're very conservative. We don't want to make too big of a risk.
But I do believe the wait list moves along pretty quickly.
Fast.
Yeah.
It's not as long as it used to be because we did increase the number a couple months ago. So the number has increased. So yeah.
All All right, from Deborah Henderson, what's the second best sewing quilting thread?
Second best.
Yeah. Or I guess first and second best? Yeah.
So Aurifil 50 weight is what I use. What I used to use is Metler, 100% cotton. So Metler, so Peach made a comment about this on Facebook, and it's a really good comment. She uses Aurifil to piece, which I do, but if she's going to do quilting, she uses the Metler since it's a little bit thicker and your quilting will show up a little bit more. But I would say really it's just make sure you're using 100% cotton. So there's tons of options if you want to go, to Joann's or a store like that. I would just make sure whatever you're getting is 100% cotton. Since it will shrink, cotton will shrink, cotton thread will shrink at the same rate as your cotton fabric. And I'm assuming you're using cotton fabric.
From Cindy Schrader, are there going to be more macaroons for sale from the Sew Sampler box?
No, that was kind of like that was kind of like a real exclusive thing. Once we sell out, we're going to be sold out because we really sometimes want Sew Sampler people to just be able to get stuff that's just theirs.
From Deborah Lafayette, what is your favorite thread conditioner?
I like the Thread Magic. I think Thread Haven. One of those two. The one that's left. The one went out of business and one is left. So that is what I use because it's easy to get. Or beeswax. Beeswax is just a little bit drier.
From Gourmet Law, is there a way to cut or sew flying geese units to get straight sides without starching the fabric?
So when you're working with flying geese, you're working on the bias. So maybe pinning might help. I use the Eleanor Burns flying geese ruler method. There's also, if you Google fast flying geese, that's slightly different than Eleanor Burns's method. And then you can trim down, which does help. But I pretty much just use starch for everything.
All right, from Marie Alchin, question for Kimberly. How many rulers or specialty rulers do you use/have?
Okay, so I'm going to read to you what I use all the time, every day, when I sew. Every time I sew, I use the 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5 inch Creative Grid square ruler. Because when I'm cutting squares, I like to just cut around the ruler. So I use that. After that, I use the 6.5 by 18.5 inch ruler, which is kind of like, I think it's that top right one. That one, let me have that one too, and then let me have the one on the bottom. The one on the bottom right, no. That's good. There's one more like this that's shorter.
Right.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
Thank you. So then after the square rulers, I use this and this and this. And that's what I use all the time. So these are just, let's see. These are the same. No, they're not. Oh yeah, no, they're not. Okay, these are the two that you would need. CG, this is 6.5 by 12.5 and 6.5 by 24.5. And then I do have square rulers, big ones, like 12.5 inch square, 14.5 inch square, and 18.5 inch square. But I really don't use specialty rulers. I do use the Eleanor Burns flying geese rulers a lot. But other than that, I have a lot of rulers, but that's really not what I just use, I try not to have too many things. But I really love Creative Grids rulers, and that's what I use exclusively. But I don't use, we do a lot of videos with their fancy rulers. I just don't use them as much. The other thing I do use now is this. Let me show you. Hold on. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
These are amazing. These just came out. And, okay, tell me what they're called again, Lily.
They're the Creative Grids seam guide. Yep.
So they have a grip on the back, and I use them to draw my lines for half square triangles. So I have these all the time, and there's two sizes, a small and a large. And honestly, I just use whichever one's in front of me.
Yeah, that's a
Seam guide. Creative Grids seam guide. And so I use these to mark flying geese, half square triangles, if I'm not using triangle paper, which most of the time I am. or the Eleanor Burns method, but these are awesome. But you know, in terms of like having a kite ruler or a star ruler, I don't use those that much.
All right, from Pat Schmidt. I have many items on my wish list that now say out of stock. Does that mean you won't be getting any more and the items were previously in stock?
It really depends. Right now, everything is kind of up in the air. So you could email me and I could tell you. Notions, so in general, if it's a notion, a pattern, or a book, I reorder that. Fabric, especially if it's like Moda or Riley Blake or Robert Kaufman, it's going to be a wait, or it's not going to come back. It really just depends, because Moda prints their lines once and their business has increased, so I'm unable to reorder things because they sell out faster. So and we order everything 4 to 6 months in advance. For example, in August, I'm buying for January. Well, we didn't know that we were going to start selling out of stuff faster. Kona is totally out of stock for a long time. So probably a couple months. Bella, I'm expecting a shipment of some of the Bellas the early September. But right now, everything is just kind of in deplete. And a lot of it is companies came in to Robert Kaufman, Moda, Checker, and they bought a lot of the basics for gowns for nursing homes, masks, that kind of thing. So a lot of stuff was depleted for what's going on in the world. And there's no way that I could have predicted 4 months ago what was going to happen today. I can barely predict what's going to happen tomorrow. So it's just, so if it's fabric, it might not come back. It really just depends.
I guess also the thing you can do is hit that like notify when in stock button. And that way you'll just get an email if and when it does come back in stock.
Yeah.
Nicole Schneider says, "Hi Kimberly, hello from Checker."
Oh, hi.
Okay, and from Susan Brockhampton, will a very coriander Christmas quilt block of the month ship soon?
It starts in August. So the fabric will come to us. It might have already come. I don't even know. But yes, it ships in August. That's when it starts.
From Gay Casper, has Kimberly been on a quilting cruise?
No. I've been on a cruise 3 times, but no quilting cruise.
Okay. From Gourmet Law, do you use a special light next to you when you do cross stitch at night?
So I use the Halo Go lamp, and I use a really cheap lap desk, and that's what I use to cross stitch. In my sewing room, I use Stella lights. So I have a Stella light by my sewing machine, on my cutting table, and then one behind my head that's like one of the longer ones. So I do have a lot of lights everywhere. And that doesn't help with the air conditioner situation. The iron and the lights, that doesn't really help. And I did, in my sewing room, I had Kevin, because it's like the fan is way up high, turn it on high, and all my fabric was like everywhere. And I was like, okay, no, turn it back.
That's funny. From Jacqueline Woodard, curious to know if Kimberly will be doing some type of sew along when the Folktale line releases.
Yeah, I will. We are going to be doing a sew along, which every week we're going to release a free block in 3 sizes. More information is coming soon, and it will be releasing around the same time as Folktale, so you could use that. And really what we're going to be encouraging you is to use your stash and to use whatever. There's going to be no kit. I want it to be more of a you come to us for something free every week, and you get to enjoy that in your home with whatever fabric that you have or that you want to purchase. I'm sewing mine with Homestead by April Rosenthal, and I have like 27 blocks left because there's like 35 or 36 blocks. But I don't know, like a couple of months ago I thought, oh, I'll just make all sizes, 4, 6, and whatever size they are. I don't even remember what size they are. I don't know that I should have committed to that, but I'm doing that so that every week I can show you all 3 sizes, and I can show you I'm pressing everything open, but it gives me more, just like I'm going to do with a charity quilt, so that I can show you each week, and it gives me a talking point instead of just, oh, there's my quilt. It's not as intimate to me, or as, I feel like I do everything so far in advance that it's hard to like talk about it more, so I'm doing it a little bit different next year.
From Caroline Alexander, she says, Kimberly cracks me up tossing the quilts to the side. Reminds me of Eleanor Burns tossing her cutting scraps over her shoulder.
Oh, yeah. So we have carpet, and it's really clean over here. But that stuff is so heavy, there's no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
But yes, it is a pile, but it's a really pretty pile, and the carpet, I can tell you, is 100% clean because I am a neat freak, and Lily knows it.
Yes.
I'm a freak about, like, yeah. So my funny story of the week. I'm going to tell you my funny story. I don't even know as a parent if I want to admit this. So one of my children, maybe he got it for me, maybe he got it for my dad, maybe he's named after my dad. He, like, really likes things a certain way. So he had a freak out yesterday, and he got really mad and started screaming. So the nanny told him, okay, stop, sit down. And she got a piece of paper, and she wrote the things that Will hates so that he could stop, process, and think. And he wrote all the things he hates. And one of them was cleaning the walls. And I was like, I've asked you to clean the walls maybe one time in your life. But on the list was, like, all his brothers and sisters' names.
Aww.
He said he didn't like people who over-exaggerate. He didn't like insurance commercials. Which we were like, where is that from? He didn't like fancy restaurants.
Okay.
And I don't know, but he filled the whole paper. And I got home and I was like, are you like, what has made you so angry in life that you have a list this long? But then he was in a great mood. So it was a great lesson in, okay, sit down, calm down. Mm-hmm. But it's because he's like me and doesn't want, like, he doesn't like a mess. But then he's like, oh, I don't want to clean the walls. And I was like, what? Well, you think this is like a child labor house? What? I was just like, and then I asked him when I got home, I said, well, some of the things on the list are some of my favorite things, so I don't understand why they're on the list. So let's talk about fancy restaurants. Why do you not like fancy restaurants? And he said, well, I don't want to have to get dressed to go. And when I go, it takes too long. The food's too fancy. There's just too much stuff. It's just all too much. I just want to eat some, like, grilled chicken. I'm like, oh, my goodness.
Aww.
But it was funny because insurance commercials is what cracked us up. We were like, are insurance commercials that bad? That you hate them?
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I should bring the list. It's funny. But I told him, I was like, what's so disappointing? Because I love fancy restaurants, so we have to go sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously not now.
Yeah.
But, like, for Mother's Day or Father's Day, usually Mother's Day, there's something dance every time. But Father's Day, there's one restaurant we go to. It's the only time we go there. And then Thanksgiving, because I don't want to, with working Black Friday the whole weekend, I'm not going to cook a whole thing and then work all weekend. I can't do both. So we always go out to eat for Thanksgiving. But I thought, gosh, for two having to go out to a fancy restaurant 2 times a year, oh my goodness, like, we're really ruining your world.
Oh.
But it's so funny. But the first thing on his list was his 3 siblings, and I was like, you don't hate them, like, can you just... But I don't know, I think they had an argument over the paint. So the painting area. So that's, anyway.
He was thinking about it. From Angie Anvar, I would like to try foundation paper piecing. Is it a better investment to buy a book with patterns or just buy individual templates?
So I would start with our paper pads, which we have log cabin pads in 6-inch, 12-inch. We have pineapple pads in 6-inch, 12-inch.
Yes.
We have economy blocks in 6-inch and 12-inch. If you buy a book, that's also great, but what I would do is buy typewriter paper from Office Depot or Office Max. It is thinner and it's easier to tear. So you don't want to just use your standard paper from your printer. How would you call that, Lily?
Yeah,
You just don't want to use standard paper.
The normal
you have to
paper.
get a thinner paper.
Yeah.
Because when you pull the paper, you want it to come off your stitches, and you don't want your stitches to you don't want, when you pull the paper, your stitches to come out.
Yeah.
So, but it kind of depends on what kind of look you're looking for. Like if you're trying to do something like Alison Glass or Elizabeth Hartman or someone like that, then they do sell some things, and those are great. I would just make sure you get the thinner paper, or typewriter paper, or something with, I think it's called paperweight, a lighter paperweight.
Yeah, because paper has a weight to it.
Yeah, and then maybe try some stitches on it first, pull the paper, and see if it pulls your threads come out, and either decrease your stitch length or buy thinner paper or do both. That would be my tips.
All right, from Michaela Blair Hannah, I have a question about the designer mystery quilt. I saw on Facebook someone took the months block and converted to a 6-inch block. Do we have a conversion chart to help with this?
No. So designer mystery, we just do one size. We don't do videos with that. It's just something we've been doing for 10 years. But you could always reach out to that person and ask them. You know, I mean, it's not like a pattern that we want y'all giving away for free to other people, because that's not that's copyright protected. But you know, if you're in the program and you want to make it smaller, I'm sure somebody could help you.
From Caroline Phillips, any trick for cleaning the bobbin area of a sewing machine? I use double-sided tape to sew zippers, and now I have a lot of sticky residue. Oh no.
Oh, so I would unscrew the plate. And then use Goo Gone and get that stickiness off.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's the plate. But
Yeah,
if it's inside, I don't know.
If it's but you could take the plate off and then you can clean the inside with these brushes. I use brushes to clean, or Q-tips. Q-tips are amazing. But definitely, or alcohol, like rubbing alcohol. Of course, you probably can't find that now, but you know, or peroxide. You know, something that is that will work on metal, but it's not going to leave a sticky residue.
From Nightwing 1029847, what is the fabric on the back of the economy block table runner?
This? Oh, the fabric on the back. Okay, sorry. It's sold out, but it is vintage happy 2, and more is coming in. It is space. It's not applique. It's a I think it's 9130 vivid. It might not be that, but it's 90 something vivid, and it is coming back in stock, and it is from Vintage Happy 2 by Lori Holt.
We had a few fun comments here from Gabriel Fuentes. Kimberly, you can get a lot of cross-stitching done on a flight to Australia.
Yeah, I guess I could. I'm not getting on a plane anytime soon. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. From Elaine Wilson, she says, my daughter was here last Saturday to pick up her wedding dress, and when she came in my house, the first thing she did was go right to the pantry.
Oh, yeah. Nutella. So what we do is we buy the Nutella, like, they're packs. They're long and skinny like this.
Oh, yeah.
2 packs. Gone in 3 days.
Yes.
I have a kid that'll just sit there and eat them. I'm like, okay, stop. Like, no, stop.
Yes. I sometimes eat Nutella out of the jar, and it's not something I'm proud of, but I do.
But it's good.
It's
so good. It's not healthy, but it's good.
It's really good.
Yeah, I mean, now, they're just at home all day. Like, and they don't really like breakfast. None of them. So it's kind of like snack, lunch, snack, dinners. And then we eat dinner pretty early, so then it's like snack. But, none of them are overweight. None of them are, they play outside. They're healthy, so it's fine. I'm kind of one of those moms that's like, oh, whatever. Like, I pick my battles. I am for sure pick my battles. So snacking, whatever. Unless you're eating 3 Nutella, then we're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
But yesterday, the fight last night was, because they're all getting on each other's nerves. The fight last night was Peyton went and got one of Emma's drinks and drank out of it so that she would see he did it, so that she wouldn't want to drink it. And I might have caught him drinking milk out of the fridge before. But, kids do that. So, yeah. So now I have to go find a replacement for this drink. Because he drank Emma's drink, because they somehow think that something in the fridge has to be theirs for some reason.
Question from Melinda Thomas. Ever thought about a Fat Quarter Shop app?
Yeah, no. We're not doing that. The reason why is it's way too expensive for the return. We look at, when we read at our site, we see that a large percentage of you guys shop online and have a seamless experience. I don't think we could afford the app, to be honest. To build an app, we can't afford that. We'd have to hire someone, hire an outside firm. It's a lot of stuff. It's just we can't afford it.
From Lisa Clark, did you ever take sewing lessons, and are there any paid classes you recommend to learn how to sew?
I took classes in person from Debbie Taylor at Ginger's Quilting a long time ago. Paid classes, I don't know. I would just watch our YouTube channel and just do the beginner series. I think always stitching in a group in person when everything comes back would be great. Taking a class that's a smaller class with smaller people would be great. If you have a friend. I would say when you're starting though, just whatever you're most comfortable with, do it that way. And if you're taking a class and somebody's like, oh, well, you should do this way, do whatever you want to do. Mm-hmm. I used to have a lady in that class. She would like tell on me because I didn't set my seams. Like, you're supposed to set your seams and then press to one side. Well, I refused to do it. And she like told the teacher one time, and I was like, you think that I'm gonna care? Like, no, I don't care. Because I'm kind of like that in life. Like, I just do what I want to do. Like, I know it's bad. It's kind of a bad trait, but
a lot of people are sharing how they eat Nutella at home. Some people eat it with banana. Cheryl Serafini said she does a Nutella and banana pizza. That sounds great.
Oh, my word.
Gwen Smith said Nutella on graham crackers. If you guys also enjoy Nutella, share how you eat
Yeah,
Nutella.
I like the ones with the little breadstick things.
Oh, yeah, the different
I don't
ones.
like the pretzel ones because I don't like pretzels. So the only way to make me stop eating it is to get the pretzel. But for a long time, Nutella was out, but now it's not. So we buy a bunch of it because we do the drive-through. What do you call that? Drive-up? Where they put it in the back of your car.
Oh, curbside?
That.
Yes.
That's what we do. I'm not about to go in a grocery store.
Same. Okay, and from Christy McKendry Murray, what do you use all of the colored Aurifil threads for that match the different fabric lines? I mostly piece with white and beige. Should I be doing something different?
So those are just fun to collect or for applique or embellishment or quilting. So, for example, we had talked last week about the Stitchery Sampler. So I am going to go ahead and start getting those blocks ready. And so I bought a lot of colored thread so that I could applique. So you could use it for applique, either machine or hand. You could use it, I use colored thread a lot for binding. So if I was binding this, which I'm so lucky that Gina did it for me, but if I would have found a light blue. And I would have stitched with light blue. So it's just for accents, quilting, applique, binding, lots of things. But for piecing, I agree. I just use Color 2000.
Okay. From House of Stitch and Stash, when there is no directions to where to press the seams, do you just open and press the seam or pick a side?
I see how the next seam that's going to touch it nests. So if, like for example, on this is all going to be flat around it, so it doesn't matter. So I would just press toward the dark. I either press towards the dark or press open. And if you press open, just do a smaller stitch length than you normally would, so that when you press and you put pressure on those seams, it won't undo. Like on this one, I just picked a side. I pressed towards the dark.
Gina Tell said, I started keeping lots of colors of thread for binding my quilts.
Yes.
So it's grateful.
Yep.
Okay.
And they're just pretty. I mean, how can you resist pretty thread?
Mm-hmm.
I know. Sometimes my kids are like, why do you have all this stuff? I'm like, I know. I'm like, I don't know. Go ask your dad why he has 4 guitars in his office. Go over there. Go to the next room.
That's funny. Also, I'm seeing some people saying they don't like Nutella. That's totally cool, too.
Yeah.
Like, some people don't.
They have
That's
that
fine.
new Jiffy butter. Not Jiffy. Justin's butter.
Oh.
No, peanut butter.
Peanut butter?
Justin's. So they sell it like in a...
Oh, yes, the squeezable.
Yeah, and then
the
it's
honey.
like peanut butter.
Yeah.
So you could just go get that. Look,
Yes.
I could just eat that. I could
Yeah.
drink it. Not really. I mean...
Yeah, if you guys don't like Nutella, tell me what spreadable thing you do like. I would
Yeah, I
like to
love
know.
peanut butter.
I'm getting hungry just talking about it.
I know, right? Yesterday we had breakfast tacos in the break room, but today we don't. So
No.
we're going to be hungry.
All right, I'm going to go through several new members and some super chats we've been getting. Member Peggy Hensman, welcome Peggy.
Thank you.
And then new member Lisa Bruck, welcome Lisa. And another new member, Barbara Coyle, welcome Barbara.
Thank you.
And Keita Shim is another new member, welcome Keita.
Thank you.
Yay. And another new member is Mary Williams, welcome Mary.
Thank you.
And our members did get
Free pattern.
this week. Thank you. That was posted on Wednesday, and that will be available for I think a couple more weeks if you guys join in that time.
Yeah, and I think we'll go ahead and schedule like another Q&A at the beginning of August. And yeah, that'll be good.
Oh, Mary Williams also wanted to say, I joined because this is very generous of you and your staff, and your energy feels like you are not rushing or have anywhere else to be, even though we all know you do.
Oh, thanks.
No,
I really don't have anywhere to be. I have to stitch we're doing the Jolly July, and I have to stitch today's piece. So yeah, I have to do that, but that's about it. But I'll have to like shut my door and just stitch as fast as I can so that Shelby has something to photo.
Carla Lemaster also is a new member. Welcome, Carla.
Thank you.
And another new member here is Judy Eddy. Welcome, Judy.
Thank you.
Yay. All right. Ooh, I'm loving all the stuff everyone's putting in the chat.
Okay, tell me what they're eating.
Almond butter, marshmallow fluff. Reese's has a spread that is divine, says Elizabeth Glimbaki.
Reese's does. I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I think I've seen it, yeah.
I haven't been in a grocery store in I don't know how long.
Yeah. A few people have also said the Biscoff cookies. There's a spread.
Oh, biscotti. No?
Yes.
I don't know what that is.
Maybe. I think it's a brand.
Okay.
Lots of people from Australia saying Vegemite.
Okay.
If I said that correctly, I'm not sure. Lynn Hofer said Nutella quesadillas, like with the tortillas. Yes, those are great.
Have you had that?
Yes. Also peanut butter and jelly, but burrito tortilla. Oof.
But do you heat it in the cooker?
You don't have to. You can warm the tortilla and
First.
then it kind of melts the Nutella. Yeah, once you spread it on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Really good. But yeah, no, you don't do it like a normal quesadilla where you put it in and then do it. No.
I was like, that would ruin my...
That might not go well. I don't know. It might. Yes, and then almond butter with green apples, says Karen Cox. Ooh, lots of great suggestions. All right, I got one new member here, Sarah Bedone. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you. So guys, have a great weekend. Make the best of whatever you got going on this weekend, and I'm be back next week on Friday. See you then.
Bye, guys.